Listen, if it's one thing that I'm pretty sure we're all aware of is that life is out here moving fast, okay? It's a lot going on. We got society telling us what we should be doing, we should be, all while we're still trying to figure ourselves out. But you know what we can do? We can be mindful of where we are in this present moment and take small steps towards becoming better by the day and towards reaching our God-given purpose. So let's figure it out and work through it together. Welcome to Mindful Moments, y'all. A space where we talk it out, laugh it out, cry it out, hash it out. Listen, just get it all out, okay? This is a safe space for you, where we talk about the ups, the downs, even the in-betweens. A place where we go through it so we can grow through it. Tune in every week as we fill our minds with who we're destined to be, with positivity, with awareness, and honestly, just with love. So I encourage you, let's be mindful of today in hopes for, yes, a better you, but also in hopes for a better tomorrow. Again, welcome to Mindful Moments. Welcome back to another episode of Mindful Moments. I'm your host, Jada Lowe. If you're watching through YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and be sure to like this video and check out previous episodes. And if you guys are on one of the podcast platforms, on your way to work, whatever you got going on, what's popping, what's good, what's popping. So y'all, let's get into it. This episode, I want us to talk about access. And so let's get into it. Not to beat a dead horse by emphasizing the new year, but I feel like we're kind of settled into the new year. We're already just about in March. And so I just wanted us to kind of discuss maneuvering through the year as far as access, who we allow to have access to us, what we allow to have access to us, and also the things that we give ourselves to. And so just one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is that when you're in new seasons of your life, or just periodically and frequently, it is important to be aware of your access. It is important to be aware of what you're giving access to and what you're allowing yourself to receive as far as access as well. And so let's talk a little bit about not just what access is, but what it looks like when you have to adjust your access code, when you have to adjust the passwords to your life. And there just comes a point in your life where you have to continuously want to demand better out of yourself. And that requires updating or revoking access, whether that be to certain people, whether that be to certain things. You just have to, as you constantly upgrade, you have to constantly update the passwords in different aspects of your life. And so just throughout this episode, you'll hear me using the different password and access analogy just to kind of paint just a more vivid or better picture. So let's talk about passwords and just password updates. So one of the things that frequently grinds my gears, and just one thing that it's always annoying at the time, but when you realize the point behind it and the efficiency of it, you have a deeper appreciation for it, I guess. But we all know when it comes to some of our favorite sites or even our phones and just updates in general, you're required to change your passcode. For some sites, it may be like once a year, once every 6 months, or once every couple of years. But either way, you have to change your password. For us as users and consumers, it can be pretty inconvenient because we've remembered that passcode for so long. We've remembered what we need to enter to be able to access whatever site it is we need to access. So now it's like, okay, I got to reset my password, change it to something I don't know, write it down. Y'all telling me I got to have 8 characters, a special character. One got to be a number, one got to be uppercase and lowercase. Like, can I just do password 1, 2, 3? But, and that's another thing too, making sure your passwords are strong enough to where nothing can get in. and to where it's not easily accessible to hack. That's for another day. Anywho, but yeah, it just always aggravated me that I had to change my passcode. Like when I was in college, for our portal, we had to update our password every year. And I'm like, y'all, listen, you and I both know, we know it's me. I'm just trying to see what the grade is. And we all know, seeing what that financial aid say. Why do I have to keep updating my password? That's one other thing for me to remember. But it's a security precaution, right? And so the thing is, even when systems update, new passwords are required. So let me ask you this question, or let me make this statement. Don't allow old passwords to be able to access the new systems of your life. When you upgrade, or just when you elevate, just when you grow, just when you know that there are new things and just new goals in life, and just as you just elevate as a person, you have to understand that you're going to constantly have to do just a checkup. As you demand better out of yourself, I believe that it's okay that as you demand better out of yourself, that you demand better out of yourself, out of the other people around you, and out of just the way you handle life. Because if you expect to get from one level to the next, and that level is a level that is going to require more out of you, then I believe it is okay to require more out of those people, your habits, your disciplines, what you take in. Everything requires a new type of access to be able to access the new you. Even you need to require yourself to have a different type of access to you. How are you talking to yourself? How are you giving yourself grace? How are you treating yourself? It's not just for the people like your friends and family who are in your life, or your work relationships, or just your romantic relationships. How are you handling you? What type of access are you giving to yourself? What are you allowing yourself to take in? And so that is something that I just believe is important, that we aren't just required to demand better out of ourselves. It is okay to require the same thing out of other people. And just by changing your password consistently, you reduce the risk that other people will have frequent access to your accounts. Even when it comes down to people from just your past, people from kindergarten trying to come back and see if you still the same person that you were on the monkey bars. Like, good and daggone well that I'm not the same person. But that's how some people operate. Some people, and not that they haven't changed, but some people just assume that you're the same in every season of your life, or that you still have the same tendencies, or that you will still react the same way. They have this expectation, or this fixed expectation, that you are the same person, and that the same thing that worked before will work now. No, baby. No. It does not work like that. This is a different person. And so when you realize, or when you see old habits, or when you see old tendencies, or even certain types of people try to come back into your life, or try to come into your life in general, understand what type of access you want to give to those things and people. And sometimes it's a test to see if you will allow that same type of pattern of a person, or same type of pattern of a habit, to be able to penetrate the elevated version of you, right? So be cognizant of what you're giving yourself, of what you're giving access to, and who you're giving access to you. And another thing that I want to say too, don't feel bad about adjusting your access, whether that's revoking, whether that's demoting, or whether that's promoting. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad that you can't necessarily move the way you used to move. Don't feel bad that you can't allow certain people into your life, certain people back into your life. Don't be mad when other people adjust the level of access that you have to them. Once we learn that we are all I'm not saying selfishly moving through life, but once we understand that a part of putting ourselves first requires us to make the best decisions for ourselves, I believe less guilt is tied to that. And I'm still working on it, but I often get guilty about adjusting the level of access that people have to me, the things that I've allowed, the things that I even would say and do to myself that was at the detriment of me. But I believe once you do elevate in the level of love that you have for yourself, you start to take those steps towards feeling less guilty. And it's a daily task, but just don't feel bad, because with a new level of access also comes everybody's not going to be happy with it, and everybody's not going to understand it. Whether that access be, I can't tell you all my business, whether that access is, we can't be friends anymore, whether that access is, I can't listen to this, or whether that access is, I can't be around you and your attitude, whether that access is, I can't be around you because you're negative all the time, or because you're always talking about somebody all the time. Don't feel bad for that. You got to take care of yourself at the end of the day. And so when it comes to the systems of your life, the way you move, the way you operate, you're going to have to regularly adjust your access. And just like I said, don't feel bad about it. And don't feel bad too, even when it comes to other people, like I was saying, other people adjusting the level of access that you have to them. Just don't take anything personal. And when you understand that as you elevate and as you adjust the different types of levels of access that people and things can have in your life, you start to realize how that is you taking care of yourself. Your number one priority should be to take care of you. It's not going to always be pretty. It's not going to always be understood. And it's not going to always be easy. Because when you're allowing new things, and access also means allowing the good things to come in and making room for the good things to come in. It is a learning curve, and it is a process of unlearning and just learning a new way of how you want to operate. And it comes with growing pains. And so just understand that the process of regularly updating the passwords to your life, they require different levels of access. And just don't feel bad about doing what's best for you. Don't feel bad about doing what's best for you. And I say that because while we are in a time of where I believe that we're encouraging letting go, I also feel like we're also in a time where a lot of us feel like we really hold on to a ride or die mentality depending on who it is. And sometimes being a ride or die is not, that's not it sometimes. Why can't I just ride? I gotta die? If being with you mean we need to adopt a new phrase, because ride or die is not cutting it. I'll be with you to the end, but does the end have to be me dying? Huh? Can I get another alternative? Can we ride and travel? Can we ride and be wealthy? Can we ride? I was about to say ride and fly. I'm not going to. But we have a mentality that while we do understand, or not even understand, while we do hold on to history, sometimes I feel like we hold on to it to the point where it's unhealthy. Like, I've known you since second grade, but you're not serving me. How are you pouring into me? But I'm just still your friend because we used to walk outside at Walk and Talk after lunch. Real OGs remember the Walk and Talk. But yeah, like, we've been friends since second grade, but you're not pouring into me. You're not helping me. You're not benefiting me, but you're just in my life just to be here. No, you are dead weight. Your access is revoked. No. And then too, which brings me to another point, access can be adjusted. There are some people where there may be a season of your life where you guys may just drift apart or grow apart. And there may be a season where you guys come back together again or rekindle a friendship. There may be some people where you just completely revoke access. There may be some people where the closeness that they once had to you, not that it's gone, it's just in a lesser capacity. So access comes, when I say levels, it just comes in different forms as far as to the level at which you allow people and things to be close to you. And so just be discerning and wise with how you give access and who you give it to and what things you give access to you. And like I said, don't feel guilty. It is a part of life. Don't feel like you have to hold on to people just because y'all ate lunch together and bought ice cream together, the cookies and cream and the cookie cone in second, third grade. That holding on doesn't breed room for receiving. So some things some people and just some habits you will have to let go of as you elevate. And as you elevate too, if you don't let those things go, the conflict will increase. So just be mindful. And I encourage you guys to just do a checkup every now and then of what you're giving access to, what you're allowing, what you're listening to, what you're taking in, and is it helping you or is it harming you? The people that you have in your life, it is okay to reevaluate and to adjust. And so I just encourage you all to be mindful of access as you go through the day and just as you go through this season in your life, especially if you want more and if you want better. Just take some time, reevaluate or evaluate and adjust if need be. And I encourage you to do it with love, with grace, with compassion for yourself, and with understanding and patience. What is your access code for every aspect of your life? What is your password? What is your access code? And what are the levels of access that you are allowing? I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys go through the day being mindful, being present, and be mindful of your access. Be mindful of your access codes and your passwords. You may have to reset. You may need 2-factor authentication. They try to get in or something try to get in, and you have to say allow or deny. If you need to hit deny, hit deny. If you need to hit allow, hit allow. Do what you need to do. But more of it, the overarching theme is what are you allowing to have access to you? Who are you allowing to have access to you? And think about that as you go through your day. Remember, you can do it. I love you. You are capable. You are worth it. You are valuable. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Mindful Moments. Y'all take care. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mindful Moments. I want y'all to remember this. Take it one step at a time. Know that you're capable. Know that you're worth it. Be intentional and know that everything you need to accomplish the things you want is already inside of you. But look, y'all, the podcast doesn't end here, okay? Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at O_Jada. That's O with 3 H's _JADA. You can see the visuals from past episodes and segments and maybe even some teasers for upcoming episodes. And be sure to follow and like Mindful Moments on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and even Google Podcasts. And as you go through your day, remember to be mindful of today in hopes for a better tomorrow. I'll see you in the next episode.